Hello, Merry Christmas! I can't believe it's December, I'm so excited. Today I'm going to be doing my December TBR. I don't normally do like many rigid TBRs or anything, but I'm very excited for this because I found a readathon and it's a competitive one. Oh, I love it. It's called the Reindeer Readathon and it's hosted by several people. You get like put into teams and stuff. It's hosted by Break Even Books. He's like, I think he's the creator. I'll tag his channel and his video of like, you know, everything that's helpful to know about this. The prompts are based off of reindeers, hence why I tried to look like a reindeer, but it kind of doesn't show up and I just look a bit, you know, half-assed now. I'm on team stocking, so, you know, that's very exciting. So I haven't like decided just how many prompts there are, because obviously there are 12 prompts and I'm not going to be able to read 12 books because I'm a slow reader. So I have just rather than being a sensible person and just like figuring out which prompts I want to do, I have decided to just assign books to most of the prompts and then see what I feel like reading, which actually is pretty sensible now. Good on ya. First prompt is Dasher and it's to read a book with one word title. And for this I'm going to be reading Metamorphoses by Ovid. Very excited for this. I love Greek poetry. I know quite a few of these stories because I studied classics, and just also because I love, like in my free time, I've read quite a few of them, like know the stories. But I haven't read the text as a whole before, so that'll be really interesting. Love it. One of my favourite styles of writing. It's so beautiful. It's basically all these stories of transformations, like people being bewitched and turned into things. Yeah, they're really stunning, highly recommend. Then for Dancer, I'm going to be reading A Strange Hymn by Thalassa? I don't know, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is the second book in the Wagner series and I read the first book last month and it was just like great fun. It's a really cool story. It's about this girl called Callie or Calypso, and she's got this like row of beads that runs all the way up her arm, and each bead is a debt to this guy called the Wagner, and so you follow like two timelines in the first book, at least. I don't know about the second book. In the first part you like follow when she first called on the Wagner and like when they first met, and then you have the like present text, I don't know, where like he's come back and he's come to claim his debts, so like she has to do it. So it's pretty fun, it's really good, it's a really entertaining book and I'm really excited to read the second one. Okay, then for Prancer, the prompt is to read a book with a map in it, and I'm going to be reading Ink by Alice Broadway for this. I'm like a magpie, whenever I see shiny things I'm like but yeah, this was kindly a present from my cousin Ez, and she's read it and said that she loved it. It's really exciting. I don't know much about it, which I kind of love about books when I don't really know anything about it. All I know is that it's about a world where like everything you do in life is kind of tattooed onto your skin, so your whole story is like told to people on your skin, from what I understand. And it's just like magical and stuff. I don't know what the main like plot is, but I'm kind of glad that I don't, because then I can just go in and be like, this is a cool world, like what's gonna happen. But yeah, so I'm excited to read that. Okay, then for Vixen, the prompt is to read, like the main prompt is to read a book with a fox on the cover, or like the word fox, but I don't have any books that I want to read at the moment that have that. And there is a second prompt, because that's quite like, that's very like niche market of books. They've also given the idea that for like slightly fewer points you can do a book with a strong female lead, and so for this I'm going to be reading These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong, and the strong female lead in this is Juliet Kai. She's a flapper and she also is a gang leader, so I mean that's pretty strong, I would argue. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. It's set in 1920s Shanghai and it's again like two gangs, like kind of there's a lot of history between the two characters. I'm really excited about it. I'm also a little bit sad, like scared sad, because obviously we know how Romeo and Juliet ends. So obviously, you know, it could be completely different for this. For Cupid, the prompt is to read a book from a genre you love, and for this I've kind of like double whammied it. So for this I'm going to be reading The Sisters of the Winterwood by Rena Rossner, and this is a kind of a fairy tale, it's basically a fairy tale-esque book, but I don't think it's based like strictly off of one. Yeah, mixes fairy tale, poetry and history. Yeah, so that's pretty cool, and that's all stuff that I love. And it's set in the Ukraine, and I'm very interested in Eastern Europe, which sounds like a really weird thing to be interested in. Yeah. I'm learning Russian, and my Russian teacher is from Ukraine, so I really want to learn more about it so that I can really like talk to her about it and stuff. And like I've experienced quite a bit of it from like through her, so like recommendations of foods and things from there, and like things I've tried, and I've worn Ukrainian national dress, so like I'm really excited for this. Yeah, and it's also mixed formatting, I guess, so it's like partially prose and partially poetry, which I love. I mean, I love poetry. I wouldn't mind if it was all poetry, to be honest. But I'm really excited for that, and I'm also intrigued to see how that will like affect my enjoyment. Like if it's, I don't know how my brain will be able to like, I don't know how my brain will like having the flicks between. I don't know if they'll be too jarring, but I'm sure it's done well. I like to give books the benefit of the doubt before I go in hard with like hatred or anything. So I'm really excited, and it's so pretty. The last book that I have a prompt for that the last prompt that I've got a book for is Blitzen, and that's to read a book with a struggle. And for this I'm going to be reading Half a King by Joe Abercrombie, and this is a book that my dad recommended to me, and it's actually his copy, which he kindly lent to me. I'm really excited for this. I've been meaning to read it for a while, but I wanted to be in like the right headspace because I know that it's adult fantasy and it'll be quite a lot to like keep up with. I've heard good things about Joe Abercrombie's work, but this is definitely, I'd say this is like the definition of a struggle in a book. It's about a guy he's called Prince Yavi, and he is born without an arm, I'm pretty sure, like he's lost his arm. It says that he was born with only one good hand, so I think he might still have the hand, but it just doesn't work, like work conventionally speaking. I don't know, I'm really botching this, but that's really exciting as well because it's great to have disability rep in fantasy. You really don't get that often. But it's about his fight across the sea and like this really like savage journey to win back his throne, and like a throne that he doesn't even seem to want, which I really like that like that what's it called, that trope of a reluctant hero. I think that's really cool. And also it's about him showing that he's like got a sharpened mind to make up for the fact that he can't hold a sword or a shield and things. I'm really excited for it. My dad said it's great, so I'll be having words with him if it's not. Yeah, so obviously that's quite a few books. I'm also currently reading To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. I'm like 350 pages through, but obviously I started that in November, so I can't use that towards this because like I just wouldn't, like, yeah. So I want to finish that as well because I can't, like, once I've started a book I can't not finish it. So I'm really loving that, and it's like 900 pages, so I've got like a good 600 to go, but I love it, and hopefully I'll be able to be done with it within like the first 3 days of December. That's my main goal, and then I can just dive in and see where I go. Yeah, I'm hoping to have a lot of time to just like sit and read and be cozy. Thank you for watching. Make sure you check out the channels linked down below, and if you like this and if you don't find me too irritating, then feel free to hit the subscribe button, like the video if you want to, leave a comment if you want to natter, and eat something nice today. Eat something that tastes delicious. Yeah, bye.